Hey YouTubers, this is Larry Joe with Larry Joe Guitars. Today I have something you might have not expected. I got an acoustic. Okay, so this is a story with this. This is a D'Angelo concert premiere. It's a acoustic electric. It's got a little three-way equalizer here with a volume knob, and it's got a tuner, and the battery for it's back here where the plug-in is. And okay, that's what this is. Okay, so during COVID 2020, right, circa 2020, everybody was losing their mind about the Spark, right? It's here. There you go. About the Spark, and that was one of the amps. But for acoustic guitars, they were going crazy for orange wood. So it was like $250, and the place is based near LA, so I did it and I got it. And I started playing it, and I was like, this is pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the reviews said it was, on because they were everywhere on YouTube. And I put it in a case, and I played metal, so I didn't really touch it. And then a couple months went by, and I pulled it out of the case, and I strummed it like that, and it was completely out of tune, like completely. And then I started tuning it, and then the low G or E string here was really bad. I had to tune it and tune it and tune it, and then the rest of it, I was like, what the heck is wrong with this? And then I started finding dead spots. So I'm like, okay, I'll adjust the truss rod right. Maybe it's bowed a little bit because it was in the closet, right? And I adjusted it and adjusted it and adjusted it, and I still couldn't get it perfect. And it was not the same guitar that I bought. It was less. But I adjusted it so it was okay. It was okay, but every time I played it, I could always feel the little spots where it was dead, because the neck had moved so much, and I was really upset. And I'm like, dang it, man. Nobody ever says this. Nobody ever says this about these guitars. They always prop them up or just crap all over them, and I don't feel that it deserved to be crapped on. These are one of the reasons why I created my this YouTube channel. Anyways, so I got it the best I could, okay? And then I threw it on Craigslist, and I said, okay, maybe someone won't detect the problems I had. Just someone that's not as fine-tuned as I am on all the little bits and pieces, and it's not a big deal. So within a week, this guy had seen the videos just like me, and then Orangewood was raising their prices, so I put it like $10 lower than what I paid for it. And I was like, okay, I don't mind losing $10. It's not a big deal. I'll just invest that into another guitar. So he came here, played it, liked it, gave me the money I wanted, and I think I gave him $5 because it was a different part of LA, and it was a little bit of a drive. And I'm like, here, that's for gas. Anyway, so he left. I took the money, and I bought a D'Angelico, that's it, D'Angelico. See, I don't know the name so much. I mean, some of you other guys will be like, of course I know that guitar. Of course, I have 3 of those guitars. Cool, right? I bought a 12 string, not this one, a 12 string. And I got it and started playing it, and I've had 12 strings before. And I don't know, maybe that was a long time ago, but when I started playing it, I mean, the different guitars make it sound amazing with how they do everything on it and everything. It sounds like it just, I don't know, like a harp or something. Like it's just reverberating like crazy, right? So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll set it down for a little while and then give it a chance. Come back to it in a couple weeks. So I pulled it out a couple weeks. It had these really cool inlays, block inlays, and I thought that was really cool. And I pulled it out of the closet, and I had my case for it, and one of the inlays was in the case, and I'm like, what the heck? And I looked, like 4 other ones had pulled up from their little spot that they go, because they were blocks and they were fit into the fretboard. Anyways, so I'm like, ah, man, now I can't even use it. And then I was like, maybe it'll give me a chance to find something else. So I took it back to Guitar Center, showed him. The guy's like, oh my God, of course. He's like, it's a D'Angelico. This shouldn't happen. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know much about these things. And he's like, okay, I will refund you. And it went to my Guitar Center account. And then like a week later, I don't know if you know it, but Musician's Friend and Guitar Center, which are almost the same thing, they do like a daily pick or insane pick or whatever it is. And what they do is they'll discount something. And I saw this guitar, a D'Angelico Acoustic. Like I said, it's the Concert Premier, and it's got the interesting tuners here. I don't know what they're called. And like I said, it's an acoustic electric, so you got a three band equalizer with a volume and a tuner, and you got the battery goes in the back. So I was like, this is cool. And I started playing it, and I was like, this is really good. And then I put it in the closet, and then I noticed there was a little imperfection, I think, from my hand, because I was strumming it a certain way. Anyways, so I've had this now, I don't know, almost 5 years, 4.5 years or whatever, and I really like it. I really like it a lot. And I know you guys are like, this guy's a metal guy. I mean, he's got Metallica shirts or Megadeth shirts like I don't have on now, that I did the last video on. Anyways, but if you remember, in the 80s, especially in the early 90s, a lot of the different metal bands were using acoustics, right? So I've written several songs, acoustic songs on acoustics, right? And I'll play different things with electric, but the acoustic always has that ring. So how I got it set up today is I don't have it going through my Go. In fact, this is the cable. You can see nothing's plugged in or nothing's turned on. The wireless is still turned on, but it's off now, just to save the battery life. It's off. How I have this plugged directly into my cab, my Positive Grid Spark Randall cab that I made. Okay, and if you want to see that, check out my video of it. It's interesting how I did it. Frustrating, but it worked out in the end. Anyways, so I got it plugged directly into that, and the volume's up a little bit more than like what I put here, because this has the drive pedals and everything in it for the different settings. Obviously, this doesn't have it, so directly in to the back. All right, directly into the back. And I just adjusted the volume knob here. So, hear the difference, and I can control that with the volume knob here, just like if it was electric here. So, like I said, I was a big fan of the different acoustics. Like, of course I'm going to draw a blank, but like Fade Black. That sounds great acoustic. I've always liked it's several 12 strings, but what is it? Dust in the Wind. You know, I'm a kid of the 80s, so I have a lot of those different melodies and crap in my head building. So I figured I'd play a couple things for you, and you'll know, even though I'm a metal guy, I'm not completely a metal guy, but I am. I don't know. I will say this, when I adjust my electric whatever electric guitar I'm playing at the time, whenever I adjust it to like the neck pickup and I turn it down a little bit on the volume, I mean, I can get good sounds, but it's not the same as an acoustic. And the acoustic player is going to be like, of course it isn't. Of course, how dare he even say that? Of course it isn't. But I tell you that for someone that loves playing electric and metal, you would think it'd be an easier switch to go for a electric guitar in the neck position, turn down volume to get what I want, but it doesn't even get close. Not even close to what acoustic can do. So I'm just jabbering on, so let me play you something, okay? I don't play acoustics that often, so there might be some chord changes that might not be perfect. So, I mean, I guess you can crap on it if you want. That makes you happy or whatever, but try to understand. But like I said, if you want to crap on it, comment. If it's crappy, I'm not going to answer it anyways. But if it's constructive, I can learn. It's not a big deal. Anyways, so let me turn it. Okay, I think that's good. Okay. All right. That was on the spot, so I'm not going to play the rest of it because that was on the spot. Sorry, my throat's getting a little froggy. The wife was painting in the garage, so I think it might be the fumes. But I'll power through it. Cut in the middle of it, but I got to turn the volume down. My strumming's heavy on that one. Okay, that's better. And continue. Not too bad, right? Right? Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. I still feel like if I play some of the songs I really love, and I don't care what anyone says, people take stuff. Anyways, so, and those are a couple riffs I came up with. One of them was a long time ago, but I don't think anyone's going to take it. This one was like there are some old songs that I've heard of Zakk Wylde, like really old stuff, either right before Ozzy or right afterwards when he went to, what was it? They was in a band, I forget the name of it, before Black Label Society. I forget about it. You guys probably remember. Anyways, and I remember hearing a couple little strumming things that he was doing, and that influenced that many years ago. So, like I said, I'm Larry, I'm a metal guy, but I think it sounds great, right? And I played some acoustic parts. It's a good guitar. I think this guitar is great. I totally, when I was doing my personal collection review where I played all my personal collection guitars, I totally forgot about this. It was in a closet, and I hadn't played it, and then I pulled it out about 3 or 4 months ago, and I was like, hey, you know, maybe I want to play this. Maybe I want to show this to the guys out there. Maybe they're considering. Because that's the reason why I have my channel. If I get them, maybe you can see me playing, and I'm not an amazing guitarist, and you can see I go directly into my source. I don't have any plugins, and the only editing I do is after maybe a zoom in here, there, whatever, when I think it needs to be because it's cool. Other than that, I don't do any of the crazy editing, and there's 2 reasons why that's the case. I'm lazy. So I'm lazy. I'm the first one to admit I'm lazy. That's the first reason. Second reason, and I don't know if this will echo with you guys at all, but I want it to be real. I want it to be live. I want it to be what you see is what you get, you know? I don't want you guys thinking I'm doing this or doing this. And if you see my playing, like I said in the comment, I'm decent. I have my moments where I get good, and there's a couple little things I flow through, and it looks better than it usually is. Usually I'm slightly fighting it. Somebody told me it's always a war no matter how good you are, but I don't know about that. Anyway, so this is the D'Angelico, okay, Premier Orchestra. I think it's mahogany top. Yeah, I think it's all mahogany. Yeah, I think it's all mahogany. Anyways, 6-string acoustic electric. I think it's a beautiful guitar. I think if you're getting it, you're going to get it. Definitely consider it. I put some phosphor bronze strings on it because I really like the punchiness, the snappiness that you get with it. And I think I've had these on since I bought it, and they're still good. I don't use it very often, so it's still good. But yeah, and you have a 9-volt battery that you place right there. They might have some new ones with like a USB or whatever charger that they have. They have tons of stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, that's what this is, and I'm more diverse than most of you guys think. Maybe, I don't know. But you heard me playing. There's a ton of other stuff. I'm just not going to play it just because, you know, I don't want people to steal. Anyways, that's enough. Leave a comment, please. If you leave a comment, 90% of chance I'm going to answer it. Sometimes I forget. I apologize. I mean, I'm a human too, and I have my own life and everything. And yeah, and this is a good guitar. Subscribe if you want. That'd be cool. If not, I'm not going to guilt you or make you feel bad because you don't want to subscribe because you subscribe to so many other stuff, you know. It's all good. I feel the same way. I usually only subscribe to stuff I really like or want content from. So that's what I feel about that. Anyways, thank you for your time and have a good night. Let's see if this thing, sometimes I leave it in, sometimes I cut it out. This because half the time I'm fighting. And I said in one of my other videos, I believe, that if you guys have a better way of doing this, where you can pause it and just, instead of just turning it off, let me know. I'll get one, but I can't seem to find one on Amazon or anywhere that'll work with. I'm using my cell phone. So anyways, have a good day.